What I'm going to do to each one of these objects, starting out with the jug, seems to be what the beginner painter wants to start with. And here I've saved all this for last because it is the very extraordinary, lovely things about each thing. Starting with the jug, I see a highlight, that all-important tone value, and it hits here. That's a little convex plane. Here's a concave plane, and here's a great big convex plane. I see one here and here too. Well, I can't leave them like that. I just painted them in so that I can then make them do their job. And I'm going to ease them in with lighter, brighter colors of the croc itself. Lighter and lighter on the light side is what I do to further develop the appearance of my subject. And conversely, darker and darker on the dark side. I not only improve the texture of the object, but I also accentuate the object's dimension. Sable brushes to do this stage because you're painting paint onto paint. So you don't want too much resistance. And now, this is already dark. I'm going to go darker to show that little hole where the handle wire is fitting in. Darker there. And if I were not showing you how I go about this, I would wait for this pot to be dry before I'd actually put this handle in. But if I want the appearance of the picture to be, as they call, loose, I wouldn't wait for it to dry. I'd flip it in with just a few simple strokes. Sometimes that's kind of the charm of the picture, the rhythm of application in which it was painted, casually rather than carefully. Depends on how much time you have and the mood you're in. But I like to say, I don't know whether you know what I mean when I say it, trifle with trifles. Pay attention to structure, which is more important. Oops, that was dumb. I took away the plane of the top, trying to put a feeling of a funny little cork in there. It's at this point that I would inspect the turning edge and add a reflection if I wanted it. That means a little lighter tone in the shadow. That's optional. I made it reddish because of the redness of the composition here. Now let's go on to the finishing of the glass bottle. You can see that I have it in, but it doesn't look as though it has a front. The front is going to happen because of the highlights. White with a touch of greens complement red. And these are going to hit my brush loaded. See, I'm going to pop one here, in for the concave, out for the convex, in for the concave. I'm going to skip along here because I don't see it until this concavity and this convexity. Ease it in. Up at the top again. That highlight seems to dissipate into a brighter version of the color of the glass itself on the side away from the light. And I see some very lovely reflections. They can never be as light as the highlight. No tone value on a subject can be lighter than the highlight. Highlight means the highest light. And now if I slide green over this, the liquid will become in back of the glass. The grapes. Just as I add lighter light to bring out the dimension of the croc, which is non-reflective, grapes are also non-reflective. I'm going to make them come out by adding lighter too. I see this one lighter. See this one lighter. That one lighter. This one is extraordinarily light right here. Cutting right into that dark shape. And these cut in light against the table tone. These have to remain kind of dark because they silhouette against the bottle. So from tone values that somewhat contrast each other, I then make them more contrasting, more light to the light and more dark to the dark. Then the picture is consistently painted in the same manner, which ties it together. Do you know that a mistake is just a place that's different? It can be a beautiful, if I paint one grape magnificently, I have to do them all that way. But if I suggest each one to be grapes, then I'll be able to get away with recording the whole bunch. I have a philosophy that backs me up in my painting to keep me free and keep me from losing my mind, and that is that if I make it all wrong, it's all right. And using the same procedure on everything does give it a unity, a harmony of mistakes or a harmony of success, depending on the luck you had that day. It would be so nice to have more time to show you some of these things. But a demonstration shows the reliable painting principles that I use when I do have more time. Darker and darker, lighter and lighter, and they start to come forward. How about some strategic highlights on those too? Here, 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 here. Don't highlight all of them, just the ones that you know that are in direct line with the light. And these highlights vary as to where they are on each one. They're not in the middle. They vary according to the particular view of the grape that you have. I need desperately a darker tone here. To make that grape come forward. So why don't I sacrifice it and put it in again?